Grand Theft Auto 4. When I found out Rockstar had updated Grand Theft Auto 4 on Steam and given it achievements, it was truly one of the happiest days of my life. You know, I wasn't waiting for any sale to come on. I was buying that game full price, too excited to play it and relive some of the much loved time I spent playing it when I was a teenager. Off the bat, GTA 4 is a great game. The story and characters are great, the driving is great, the gunplay is great. There's something so satisfying using a regular old pistol and just popping someone in the head in this game. And on that note, real quick, I would recommend that you change your reticle to get rid of the circle and the health meter. Just make it a single little dot. It for real makes it way more fun and satisfying. Now, I could do a full-length review or talk about the game, but that's not necessary. It came out in 2008. And there's plenty of other people who've done a full discussion about what's good, what's not good. You don't need me to do that. I'm here to tell you about achievements, if they complement the game, and how hard or easy they are. Now the truth is, GTA 4 is a pretty easy game, and so any achievements in regards to just playing it are a breeze. Sure, you'll have your deaths here and there, but really it only happens if you're careless. If you were serious going into every single mission and you didn't muck around, your serious mode activated, you could pass them all first go. So the only real achievements that you might be scared of going in are the more side activity related kind of achievements. For example, going in, I thought the achievement King of Cubed was going to be a pain in my ass. King of Cubed is an achievement where you've got to beat the high score to a mini game called Cubed, which is like this little arcade machine you find in strip clubs or Jacob's pub. But I was pleasantly surprised when it wasn't even difficult. You didn't have to beat an unreasonably high score like I had anticipated, and when I got to a point when I was actually struggling a little bit, I was already well close to the high score and I beat it with a few lives left to spare, and I actually had fun. Then there's the other 3 mini games where you got to beat a friend at pool, or score a turkey in a game of 10-pin bowling, or get 180 points with 3 darts in a game of darts. And admittedly, the pool one took me a fair few tries, but you just got to persist and the AI eventually slips up and allows you to win. Bowling is super easy. You just take 2 steps to the left, pull the mouse backwards and forwards, and you literally get a strike every time. You get a perfect game with little effort. And darts, again, is super easy with the mouse. You just aim where you want the dart to go, and Nico throws a dart where you're aiming. Crazy, I know. One achievement for the main game that's a bit difficult is one where you've got to roll your car 5 times from a single crash. The trick is to get a car, go to the airport, and then you want to hit the corner of these things and just do like 2 to 3 jumps and keep rolling, and do not get your finger off the forward drive key, and you'll get it eventually. Admittedly, it was pretty annoying. Now, as always, the achievements that are annoying are the collectible achievements. The main one in this game is for collecting 200 hidden packages, which are flying rats or pigeons. The issue is, there's 200 of them, and you've got to shoot them to collect them. I died killing those damn pigeons more than any other time in the game, because you're getting police notoriety while you're just trying to clean up the city, and then you can't get rid of the cops probably because you're just trying to shoot them and run around and so much mucking around, so they end up killing you, you go back to hospital. I'm trying to clean up the city, mate. You should be thanking me, but instead you get rewarded with pretty much nothing. You allegedly get an attack helicopter, but it spawns on the tallest skyscraper in the game, and unless I just didn't look for the door, the way to get up to the tallest skyscraper in the game is to use another helicopter to get there. Now, it doesn't even spawn in all of the time. Side note, you'll be using helicopters a lot in Ballet Gay Tony, and I'd recommend, I say this actually quite a lot, I'd recommend having a controller, because the controls of the helicoptering on the keyboard is pretty cookie. And it's kind of okay in the regular vanilla GTA 4 because you don't do it that much. But in Ballet Gay Tony, you fly the helicopter a lot of times, and using controller makes it feasible. Just a keyboard, you ain't flying helicopters, so get a controller. The other collectible sort of achievement is you got to do 50 stunt jumps. The best way to do the stunt jumps is with a motorcycle, which you can get from this shop by breaking a window and stealing one. So you're going to be going backwards and forwards to the shop probably a fair few times. And make sure you pay attention to the text when you do the jump. I had to redo them all up to number like 40 because I didn't do one quite right the first time. And the only way to find out if you've done the jump is to do the jump. So the jumping one was a bit annoying as well. You kind of been running around, exploring the city. It's chill, but it's tedious. This bloke Stevie asked you to steal 30 cars for him, which is a bit of a bore because I've already collected 10 for Brucey, and now I've got to get another 30 on top of that. You've also got to win 20 races for Brucey, which are super easy because you can literally just shoot the tyres out of the other races, and then by the end of the race you'll be overlapping them. But you're just driving in circles in the city a few times each race, and you'll do that 20 times, and again, that's also kind of boring. There's another achievement I thought was going to be hard when I first started playing, and that's one where you've got to perform 10 melee counters in 4 minutes. But there's another trick to that. You just go to the helicopter place, and for some reason everyone there is hell keen for a punch on, and you just do it there. And if anybody wants to hit you too many times, you just fill up with a can of Sprunk. Look, 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 look. Now there's an achievement called Liberty City Minute, where you've got to beat the story missions in under 30 hours. You haven't got to skip cutscenes for this, just as long as you're using the taxis to fast travel towards mission to mission to mission. I, however, didn't want to do this in my first playthrough. I'd much rather complete everything you possibly can do, and then you finish the last mission. That way there's some finality to the ending. Otherwise, you complete the game and you just no motivation except for the achievements doing all this nonsense cleanup afterwards. So I saved that achievement for a second playthrough, and I was more than happy to come back and just experience the story again. Overall, the worst of the achievements for GTA 4 are just kind of boring. But with patience, you can make it through, and I honestly think it's worth it. But this is not just GTA 4, this is GTA 4 the complete edition, with 2 episodes, Lost and Damned and Ballet Gay Tony. So how do the achievements for those fare up? For both games, there's seagulls as opposed to flying rats as the hidden packages, and there's only 50 of them. But there's also no achievement for collecting them all, so you don't have to do it. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is epic. The first episode I completed was the Lost and the Damned DLC, where you play as Johnny the Biker. He's not an Aussie. Again, the game's easy, and there's only 2 achievements that aren't tied to just beating the game. One of them, you've got to get 2 of your mates' toughness up to 100%, which is actually pretty easy. All you gotta do is a couple of little gang wars, and it builds up quite quickly, which is very nice. Then you have to whack off 69 bikers with a baseball bat in the races. You don't even have to win the races. I did because I'm a winner. But all the achievement it calls for is you to drive next to him, hold down B, and then release, boom! You smash a guy off his bike, which is actually pretty fun and satisfying. Make sure you actually hold down the bat note and they do fly off the bike. For the first 5 races, I was just tapping them, which did nothing for the achievement. Then we move on to the Ballad Gay Tony. What a fantastic addition to GTA 4 this episode is. It's like GTA 4, but crazier. The missions are crazier, the story's crazier, the weapons are crazier. It's a fun time. Most of the side stuff is pretty easy. Hitting all the golf balls into the poles, easy. Landing all 10 base jumps, fun and easy. Winning the Liberty City Underground Fighting Championship, not easy. And honestly, pretty bullshit. I only just beat the last guy with 1 hit worth of health bar left, and I'm convinced it was a fluke. Quick tips for the Fight Club. Your best bet, and it sounds risky I know, is to dodge and disarm the first bloke that comes in with a weapon, and then use that on the remainder of the blokes for the rounds that you fight. Honestly, this achievement is the most difficult achievement in the entirety of the GTA 4 Complete Edition, because the hand-to-hand combat in GTA 4, in my opinion, is rubbish. I despise the melee combat in this game. Running around and pushing people over, watching them ragdoll downstairs or in the front of cars and get hit by cars, that's fun. That's funny. But getting into actual fisticuffs with some NPCs that don't fight like they're drunk, so you can easily just dodge them and knock them out, it's infuriating. But you're just gonna have to persist. And know that when you beat it, the hardest part's done. Except for one other achievement that's actually also really hard, but I'll get to that in a sec. Just give me like a minute and I'll get to that. You've got to do 25 drug wars, which are just go to X and kill 25 guys. Which I know is just kind of GTA 4 in a nutshell. But when I was playing this, I wasn't having a good time. I was just going through the motions. So you know what I did? I had a break. And I didn't play the game for like 2 months. And when I liked the idea of coming back and playing some GTA 4 again, I picked it back up. And I enjoyed it. I had a good time from then on, including going back to the GTA 4 and getting the Liberty City Minute achievement. Now, the Ballet Gay Tony has a scoring system, like the one in GTA 5. And at first, this freaking scared me, because it's got checkboxes for things like accuracy, time, no car damage, no player damage. And I'm thinking, bro, how am I going to go through the game hell quick and be hell accurate and get no damage to my car? That's out of control. But then I found out the greatest news again, that it's just that. They're checkboxes. You haven't got to do them all at once. You can go through the mission hell slow, headshot, get really good accuracy, lots of headshots, no damage to your car, and then you go through it again and be hell quick, be fast, while you're getting all this damage to you. But that's how you do it. And yes, it means you got to play through some of the Ballet Gay Tony missions multiple times, but to replay it, all you got to do is whip your phone out, hit select the mission, then done, easy. And they're pretty good fun, so it's not torture to replay them. Except for 2 missions. One of them is the cage fighter mission. F that mission, F cage fighting, melee combat in GTA 4 sucks ass, as I previously stated. The other one, you've just got to kill about 200 blokes in the club. But getting the accuracy checkbox for this was pretty freaking difficult. Every other checkbox was easy peasy, but this is the kind of mission that makes you sort of dislike or have a negative feel about a game you otherwise love. The cover system and the slow and clunky feel of your character just becomes more and more prevalent while having to replay this mission over and over again. Eventually I did beat it, but it didn't feel like I'd done a good run, it just felt like a fluke. Tips? I used the explosive round shotgun and just try to one-shot everybody and obviously try not to miss. I think I made a little video about it. All in all, I spent 117 hours getting all the achievements for GTA 4, the complete edition. And I did in fact get them all. If you haven't gathered already, I really like GTA 4. And while I did start to get frustrated with the Ballet Gay Tony by the end of it, I believe it's still worth your time. And the achievements, they are doable. If I can do them, then any old geezer can do them. And GTA 4 having Steam achievements makes me very happy. It gives me hope for the future. Maybe Vice City or San Andreas will have achievements one day. Maybe Max Payne 1 or 2. Is that too much to ask? The news about the GTA original trilogy being remastered, if it's real, I will be a euphoric man. Check this. The GTA 4 poster that I had in my 360 box. I framed it, but the frame was too big for just this poster, so how am I going to fill the bottom steps? I took some screenshots, a favourite screenshot from each game, and I put them in the bottom, bro. It's funny, man, look. There's me whacking a guy off his bike. There's me, look, there's some guy looking at me as I hit a button or something. And then there's me winning the LC Cage Fighter Championship. Maybe I'll put the thumbnail of this video down here as well. Maybe it'll even call it my walk. Who knows?
Classics. Whoa, what's up with that?
Oh, yeah?
Who's got it? Are you high? Ah! What? Did I say something bad? Hey, you hurting enough yet?